Welcome Pisces to your November 2020 reading, and thank you so much for tuning into my channel. If this is the first time you've tuned in, I offer free mini readings for all new subscribers. So if you click the subscribe button and ask your question, if you've got a question about this particular reading or something that this reading doesn't bring up, just put your question in the comments below. Or if you'd like to keep it out of the public forum, you can email me and I will be happy to answer you via email as well. Just remember to click that subscribe button first. So let's get into your November reading. Now, you start out in November really defending what you believe in. You are really being asked to kind of stand your ground a little bit here. But in saying that, you are also asked to ponder whether the battle is worth the fight. Would it be better off letting go of your need to chase after a particular issue and maybe redirect your focus onto something you consider a little bit more important? So I feel like you are standing your ground and you are fighting for what you believe in, and you are absolutely standing strong, which is great. But also, if this is expending a lot of energy for you, you're also asked whether it's actually worth the fight and whether you want to pursue that fight. Now, this is a general reading and I get a lot of messages that come through. So there are also some other messages that just came through then that, I'm going to go into all of the cards in a little bit more depth, but something that just came through with the Seven of Wands is you might be fighting something from the past that is coming back to not haunt you, but perhaps like an addiction or something that was negative for you in the past, a pattern of behavior, a pattern of beliefs. As I said, could be an addiction to something physical, drugs, alcohol, smoking, that sort of thing. But I feel like you are fighting this battle about something that is coming back from the past. So that's just a message that came through for some of you. So if it doesn't resonate, just let them go. Now, you are also really working hard. I feel like you guys have gotten this message before. I'm not really sure, but the Three of Coins, the Three of Pentacles, which is the same as the Three of Coins in this deck, is a message about you working really hard again in a tight-knit group and just really showing your workmanship, your skill, regardless of what job it is that you do. You're really good at what you do, and you are working in that tight-knit team to get things done. Now, again, message just for some, this can be related to being a bit of a workaholic or putting your value in your career, in your job, and in a negative way. Having your worth, placing your worth in your career or your position in a negative way. So again, that is just a message for some of you. Now, also for others, you could be dealing with a Libra or a Capricorn again. Now, either of these two people, again, could be people coming back from the past for you. The reason I keep dwelling on the past is because you have the Six of Cups, and the Six of Cups does talk about things from the past. It does talk about love a lot of the time in the past, but it just can represent that people or friends or acquaintances are coming back into your life in November that you had something to do with in the past. This can also be an air sign as well. I mean, I guess a Libra is an air sign, but it can be an air sign that's coming back. But to read out the Justice card, now I'm feeling like you are feeling quite balanced in November. Things are going to be traveling really well for you. And if you by any chance are involved in any contracts, signing contracts, any legal issues, things are going to work out really well in your favor. But you know, justice just always encourages you to do what you know is right. And when you do that, you know that justice is always going to be on your side. So keep your integrity really strong in November in particular. We should always have integrity about us, but it seems to be quite significant for you in November. Also, you know, if you are in a position where someone is making a judgment over you, whether you are going for a job interview or you are going for an exam or, you know, a work-related you're going for a, you know, somebody's judging you for the work that you've done, things are going to go really well for you in November. And there is also a slight message: if you are signing a contract or anything like that, make sure that you read through the details very carefully, particularly because we will still be in Mercury retrograde at the beginning of November, so that often means that we shouldn't really sign any contracts in that time, but obviously if we have to, we have to. But just read through all of the details very carefully. Now, justice again does ask you to stand up for your beliefs, and this is mirrored in that message of the Seven of Wands. Stand up for what you believe in. Stand up for your truth, even if it goes against what everybody else thinks is the right thing to do, and you believe you know what will work and what is going to be right in that situation. Stand up for yourself, and for those who can't stand up for themselves as well. Hold on firm to your convictions, essentially. You know, this kind of also, for some, there could be a bit of a stalemate when it comes to a particular decision that is happening or involving someone in particular. This could be a Libra. There might be a bit of a stalemate there. Things just aren't going anywhere. Some conflict, some butting of heads, and it's just not going forward or going backward. And I feel like also you've got not only have you got two twos, like you've got the Two of Swords and the Two of Wands, but you also have the High Priestess, and the High Priestess's number is number 2. So that's 3 twos. That's quite significant. I don't really, you know, I'm not into numerology that much, but I know that any triples of numbers are quite significant. So if you're into numerology, check out what 3 twos mean, because they could be significant for you. But there is this duality, and duality as well, you know, Libra, the scales, the balance, duality, one side or the other, you know, that kind of energy is around you in November as well. Now, you know, we do have that energy of the Six of Cups, which does talk, you know, the Six of Cups is just such a lovely card. It's a card of, you know, the past that's got a significant influence over the present or even the future. That's what that card talks about. And it really asks you to honor your past by, you know, expressing gratitude for those beautiful memories, and also be forgiving in regard to challenging times that you've had in the past. And this is also challenging times. I mean, you know, be forgiving for yourself, to yourself. if you've been having challenging times in your own mind and you've kind of got this stalemate between where it is you want to go and where it is you think you are, you've got this mental kind of stalemate, be forgiving to yourself, because I feel like you might be kind of beating yourself up a little bit there with that Two of Swords. But again, general reading, and just release anything that doesn't resonate with you. Now, as I previously mentioned, this can indicate someone returning to your life from the past. It could be someone that you grew up with or someone you knew from your early adult life. And because it's like the Six of Cups, it does sort of, it can mean that somebody that you had a romantic history with could be coming back into your life, but it can also be someone who you were just friends with in the past, but who, like, things are going to be getting a little bit more intimate with that person in the future. And as I mentioned, that could be a Libra, it could be any air sign, Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius, or it can be a Capricorn, because the devil there is a Capricorn. And so that's quite a nice little message there. Now, also another thing about the Six of Cups is it's asking you to review the past as well, because sometimes our memories can deceive us a little bit, and we're making something more dramatic than it actually was, or you're making something more lovely than it actually was, and it's not actually really reality. So you kind of are asked to reflect on the past and how that is actually impacting you now and perhaps also in the future. Now, the Six of Cups, for those of you who have children, it can indicate an issue involving your kids. Now, some of your kids could also be struggling with addiction, so just maybe keep an eye out on that. But again, general reading. So also this can sometimes indicate pregnancy or having kids as well. And it might even mean that you just work with kids and they're going to be playing a significant part in your future, in your November reading, in your November. And another thing, the last thing about the Six of Cups is remember to be like a kid sometimes. Like, go and play. Go out, go sit on a swing and have a swing in the park. Like, go play a sport that you used to love to do when you were younger. Go do things that you like to do when you were younger that you don't do anymore just because life gets in the way. Like, have fun in November. It's really important to keep that childlike quality about you and don't get too serious about yourself. It really helps energize you emotionally when you do that. And some of you also might be getting some wonderful gifts, or you might be exchanging some gifts as well in November. Now, the Devil card. So this is usually represented, this is Capricorn, and as I mentioned, this can mean a significant Capricorn in your life in November that is coming back. But what the Devil actually does talk about is it's the card of the ego, and sometimes it can reflect a situation that makes you feel trapped, but it's actually a situation of your own making. And it seems like, your paths become completely hidden, and it's like there's no way forward for you. You're just feeling that real trapped feeling, but it's just an illusion, and you aren't really stuck. you aren't really stuck. And just by changing your thoughts and changing your pessimism to optimism or your negativity to positivity, you are going to be able to free yourself from this situation where you're feeling stuck and you just keep feeling like you're in this pattern going round and round and things aren't changing. Now, again, I mentioned this before, I do tend to go over the same things a million times. I'm so sorry, guys. But this can talk about an addiction or, a dependency of some sort. And this is holding you back from your happiness. And, it's... And this might also be an addiction that isn't yours as well. It could be that of someone close to you that is also affecting you. That can have a lot of negative effects on you when someone you love is dealing with an addiction or something like that. But it does feel like to me that you just maybe are slipping back into some negative things that came from the past, and we really need to stand your ground and fight them. That can be this, this Two of Swords and this Seven of Wands situation. You can do it. In November as well, you are really, I feel like you are making progress to a degree, and particularly in your work, you are on this wonderful journey, and it's like you've come to a bit of a crossroad now with your career or your passion, and you can go in two directions here. And it's actually, I'm not feeling like it's one's negative, one's positive. I'm feeling like you can actually just choose which way to go. Both of them are going to lead to a wonderful place in the future for you. And it's really quite a, it's quite a positive card, the Two of Wands. It really does talk about new opportunities being offered to you, and really you've taken some action. Like you've already started, you've got this momentum going, and now you're coming to the good stuff, to the juicy stuff, so to speak. You've come to that position where you've got a couple of avenues that you can follow, and you're in a win-win situation. But yes, I definitely am seeing this duality here. Like in the last end of the month, lots of balancing, lots of sort of yes or no, black or white type situations. But that's definitely, it's mirrored in quite a few of the cards that is coming through. Now also, it's also sort of saying that it might be time for you to make new partnerships with someone who can help you move your goals further along. So if you are feeling stagnant and stuck with that Devil card, that Devil energy, you're not moving forward, it could just be something inside you saying, you know what, it's time now to keep moving. You're at that crossroad, you've got these amazing opportunities in front of you, keep going. Lots of new choices for you are going to be required, and just think carefully about them, and ask for advice from people that you really trust. Your potential is just unlimited in November. Now, I touched on the High Priestess there. This is a very spiritual card, and it's a card of meditation and inner reflection. And I feel like you will be doing a lot of that because of this decision or this crossroads that you are coming to in November. And it just really helps when you go in and you quiet your mind just to get a clear understanding of yourselves and what you really desire. I just feel like by doing that, you're really going to ensure that you're going to be moving in the right direction. And with the high priestess, you're not actually asked to take too much action here. You're more asked to just listen and listen to your intuition and be patient with yourselves and with others as well. And I think the answers are going to come to you just, right at the perfect moment. There's no need to be forceful. Allow the answers to come to you. Yeah, it's just quite a significant card. And I feel like with the high priestess as well, it can also reflect Cancer, the sign of Cancer, because it does, astrologically, it's related to the moon, and the moon is Cancer's astral body, and it really rules your emotions. So I feel like this is really an emotional, spiritual time for you as well, to just progress on all levels, deep soul transformations for you in November as well, like the deep stuff, not just superficial, day-to-day stuff, just that really deep soul kind of stuff is going to be coming through, and asking you to think about that for yourself in November. Now, the final card is Dwelling in Truth. And I always say, just look at the imagery on this card, because they are such a good card to meditate on. So if you are going to be kind of getting into that high priestess energy and going in and looking at yourself deeply, meditate on the imagery and see if something comes through to you. There might be just something that comes through, a shape, a color, one of the clouds. They might mean different things for different people, and messages can come through. You could be looking at something and something just shoots in your mind that isn't even related to the image, but by just meditating on it, it allows things to come through for you. So the mantra for this card is, I stand in the light of truth. So the soul loves the truth. Be honest with yourself and listen to your inner guidance. Follow it by speaking your truth. To thine own self be true. You radiate the energy of truth to others so that they can find their truth. The universe wants you to know there is a place inside of you that always knows the truth. Take time to be still, to discover that genuine place of knowing within. Often, the hardest thing about living your truth is discovering what it is. So it's important to slow down, be quiet, and listen to the whispers of your soul. If there's an area of your life in which you're not being authentic, or where you're not living in integrity, this is the time to make some changes. Wow, so that's a really deep, deep card. And, you really need to ask yourself, is there any area of my life where I'm not living in my integrity? Am I being dishonest with someone, with myself, with those that I love, with the world? It's a deep card. And it's also, what do you need to do to be in accordance with that deepest truth? What do you need to do to make sure that you're living in your integrity and being real? Is there anyone who's not being truthful to you, is another question that this card poses. Do you need to take action regarding this situation where someone perhaps could be lying to you, and therefore when someone lies to you, that doesn't make you authentic, because either they're lying and you just go along with it, or you're being lied to and then that makes you live a truth that isn't real, because that person that is significant in your life is lying to you as well. So I hope that resonated with you, Pisces. I kind of feel like there's a lot of heavy energy there with you having to do this kind of a bit of a battle and having to stand your ground a little bit. But there is some really amazing positive stuff happening for you with that Two of Wands and going in that new direction. So I hope you have a wonderful month, beautiful Pisces. If you love crystals, check out my website at kazana.com.au. They are all handmade, one-off pieces made and designed in Australia by an Australian designer. So have a wonderful month. Bye guys, love you.